Okay, so this is a contract in Pineline Bay called Soaking Up the Sun. Now I've got to go pick up 6 solar panels, and here's the route I've chosen. Picking up the solar panels right here at the port and taking them across the ferry with the ferry going all the way to Reactive Zone. I need 6 cargo slots for this one, so what I'm going to do is use a Kenworth and this ZiKZ Mastodon. They both hold 3 cargo slots each, so that's going to work for what I have to do. No time to be messing around going to the trailer store since it's not right here with the garage. Yeah, and I don't think leading with the Kenworth was the best idea, so I'm only going to carry on with that for about 3 more minutes before I switch. And I think it works out a lot better with the ZiKZ leading. The ZiKZ just has a much more steady pace. Might even be a little bit faster with the ZiKZ leading. See, I put it into high here with the Kenworth and it's pushing through the mud fine. Yeah, that's great. Everything's looking good. And I could go like this the whole time, keep it in high. But I don't know, I feel like the ZiKZ leading is a little bit faster. And not to mention, obviously, these are both going to be loaded down with cargo here in just a minute. Yeah, so I'm glad I made that switch. The Mastodon's just a little bit better with cargo, I do believe. Oh, and here's something I just thought of, actually. I should have maybe used 2 ZiKZs. Yeah, that seems like it would flow much better. 2 of the same truck. 2 powerful trucks, 2 ZiKZs. Maybe I'll do that on one of the next contracts. Maybe. Yes, I've still got that truck sitting up there on the side of the road. Some other task. I will get to it. Just not today. I don't mind having to scoot around it every time I come through. Nah, it's getting to be a little old, actually. I'll probably do that one pretty soon. Now I'm starting to think maybe I'm going kind of slow. Could be going a little bit faster. Yep, there we go. So I'm making the switch, putting the Mastodon in the front. And I do believe it's going to move a little bit faster. If not, at least it's going to move a little bit smoother, more consistently once it's loaded with cargo. Yeah, this definitely seems just a little bit faster to me. Both of these trucks have, you know, the best engine, well, the best everything. I don't think there's anything that one of them has that's not the best in the category. But it's in. Very muddy section right here. Not a problem with the Mastodon. I don't think it would have been a problem with the Kenworth either, but with the Kenworth I would have probably had it in high gear. And I may be using high gear in this sometimes also, but not going to be necessary as much. And the fuel is looking good. 118 out of 133 still. That's not really going to be an issue. And I got extra on top of both of these vehicles. It's really kind of overkill. Almost every time I've brought extra gas with me on these maps, I've not needed it. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time I've came through here and noticed the path to my right that just kind of goes around all this. I don't think it's necessary though, because you can just fit right through here. Cruising right past the gas station, not needed. Now here's this generator from some other task or contract I did. And sadly, I think it's just staying there. I don't think you can use it or anything. I'll have to winch to it and see if I can move it out of the way a little bit more. Alright, getting pretty close to the port now. I can see it, and that's where I'm going to pick up the solar panels. There's a trailer sitting over here I could use for something if I drag it back to the garage with me. Or perhaps this would be on the way to pick up some cargo in the future. Snag it along the way. Made it to the port, and everything's going smooth so far. No mishaps or anything. And like I said earlier, I think this was a good choice leading with the ZiKZ. Kenworth has a tendency to, I don't know, stutter and stall a little bit more. But you know, I'm not really complaining about the Kenworth or anything. Yeah, this all works out nicely. I don't have a problem with it at all. It's just not the fastest. It's not the fastest setup in the world. But I pretty much got no risk of tipping over. I mean, yeah, it's just all pretty smooth with these two trucks. Trouble taking a couple of corners together. That's about it. Yeah, I'm very particular about my winch length. That looks good right there. Can't have the winch length too short, or the truck behind me will sometimes speed up and try to bump into me or something like that if I'm slowing down around a curve. Or if the winch is too long, then of course the back truck will get hooked on a pole or something like that around the curve. I don't know what I was paying attention to, but I actually almost missed the turn that time. Getting pretty close to taking the ferry across now, and yeah, it doesn't take much time to get to Reactive Zone from there. Alright, so made it to the ferry, and really not that much farther to go in total. Just skip over here, magically across to the other side. Would have been cool at least if maybe, at least on the PS5, if they would have put some kind of animation getting on and off the ferry. You know, at first I did not even realize this was a repair zone. I just saw that the whole corner was nothing but fence, so I just figured I'd drive right through it. Did not notice it was a repair zone until after I went through it. Just want to make sure I'm taking the turn wide enough. I don't want to have to unhook the back truck right now. A little too wide. Well, at least I got it around without having to unhook the winch. Wait. Barely. Barely. And trying to make it come left around that pole right there, I bump into this pole with the Mastodon. Yeah. Just not a great turn all in all. I can see the icon on the left of the screen for the gateway, which really isn't that far from here. I think when I started doing this, it was 10 or 10:30, something like that, a.m. in the game. And now it looks like it's evening for sure. So the day went by pretty quick. I think the day went by and, you know, the bulk of the day has gone by in about 17 minutes. Another easily handled mud pit. Even if the front truck is weak, when you're riding in tandem like this, you get the front one stuck, the back one's going to come up and start pushing it a little, so they just kind of work together like that. I could probably say the two best things about riding in tandem are, you know, having the cargo slots and not having to go to the trailer store if you don't want to, and the fact that that truck in the rear will assist the front truck if it's stuck. This might be the boggiest part of the whole route. And the evening is slipping into night too. Which I like driving at night in this game, but some trucks have better lights than others. Probably should have just gone straight across there. gas is still looking great. And I've made it to the gateway. So here I go into Reactive Zone to make the delivery. Show you my route. Just gonna head east all the way across the map to this little solar panel field. If my guy would just wake up and start his engine. He falls asleep so quick. He came in the gateway asleep, shit. Switched it back to daytime, as you can see. I'm pretty sure I put it to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Should give me plenty of daylight for the rest of the contract. Yeah, there's a lot of boggy sections in this map too, and also I think a river that I'm gonna have to go across. It's really kind of your average SnowRunner map right here. Train tracks, water, and tree stumps. So yeah, here's the river that we cross, that I've crossed many times. And I'm sure I'll cross it again. Here's a possible thumbnail, but I don't want to use the river in the background too much. Not sure what the struggle is right here at this moment. Kenworth just not wanting to keep up. I guess pretty soon my, the delivery location icon should be popping up. Getting pretty close. I know I keep referring to it as a solar panel farm or something like that, or field. I can't recall what it's called. I'll see it again in a second. Big wide turn, destroying somebody's crops. At least you're not... Yeah, at least they don't dock you for doing shit like that. Again, not sure what the holdup is. I think it's just the Kenworth and the weight he's carrying. Otherwise, I don't know. Mastodon shouldn't have a problem. It's just slightly mud and slightly a Kenworth back there. But again, I do like both of these trucks. I think I got about 7 or 8 trucks that I mainly use, and the rest are just kind of secondary. There's the drop-off zone. Well, way up ahead. Driving through a nice another little intact town, which is kind of strange. When I started playing this game, like 4 years ago, it was supposed to be an off-roading game, and yeah, there's towns in there, but they're kind of destroyed, and that's the whole point of doing these tasks and contracts, is rebuilding the towns and stuff like that. They sure do have a lot of them intact. Just making sure I've already got... Yeah, I did not have that one, so that's good. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think they call it a field or anything like that. I think they just say deliver 2 solar panels. But I think I'm gonna call it a field. Alright, so I've made it here to the solar panel field with no mishaps. Gonna drop off my cargo and get paid. Pull up here with the ZiKZ. Alright, now time for the Kenworth. Final 3 in the delivery, and I think this one pays around $19,000 or $20,000. It's kind of one of the higher paying little jobs you can do. So I filled in the missing gaps of the solar panels, and yeah, 19,950 I think it says, and 1730 XP. Sorry, this screen's kind of small there that I'm looking at. So that'll wrap it up for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.